Dear participants, welcome to the capacity building program of the National Mission on Libraries. Today we're going to talk about library automation and overview. The basic objective of this module is to provide basics of library automation, need and purpose of library automation, planning for library automation, integrated library management packages and criteria for selecting integrated library management packages, automation of in-house operations of the libraries, standards in library automation, and resource sharing. Let us examine each one of them in detail. To begin with, what is library automation? Library automation is a generic term for information and communication technologies that are used in the libraries to replace manual systems. Let us define library automation. According to Encyclopedia of Library and Information Science, library automation is the use of automatic and semi-automatic data processing machines to perform such traditional library operations and activities such as acquisitions, cataloging, circulation, and OPEC. These activities are not necessarily performed in the traditional ways, but these activities themselves are those that are associated with traditional libraries. Library automation can thus be distinguished from related fields such as information retrieval, automatic indexing and abstracting, and automatic textual analysis. What is the need for library automation? Automating the repetitive, tedious, and mechanical nature of library works. If you look at the library activities, you will find that one piece of paper or one piece of record that is created when acquiring the book or when requesting for a book, the same record is used at various activities including acquisition, including circulations, and including borrowing activities. So there are a lot of repetitive functions that can be curtailed using the library automation package. Obtain increased operational efficiencies for library services, improve the quality, accuracy, speed, and effectiveness of library services, improve access to resources on other networks and web, and facilitate wider accessibility of library services and resources using automation, and enable participation in resource sharing with peer libraries. So these are the basic needs of library automation. Now you need to plan. It takes elaborative planning to attempt library automation, especially if you do it in a library which has larger collection. A larger planning has to go into it. The planning of library automation involves hardware requirements. One have to assess the hardware requirement in terms of server capacity, the RAM that you require, and the PCs that are required to access the server. So that requirement have to be assessed, and according to the current configurations that are available for servers and PC, these hardwares can be obtained. One have to plan for integrated library management software. There are a lot of options available in the market. You have to set up the criteria that you need to use for selecting a library management package and procuring it, building library databases, which is much more important activities than any other, because this is a one-time activity as well as ongoing activity. It is one time in the sense that you have to convert your bibliographic records of books that are already available, ongoing in the sense that you keep procuring book and those books have to be created. Retro conversion of bibliographic record, which is one of the most important activities, especially if your library is old and it has a lot of collections in it. Setting up network infrastructure, because you would like your library services to be available in various departments, in various centers, not only in the library. So that way, a network infrastructure is a must, and manpower requirement and their trainings. The manpower that is existing may not have the requisite skills. The skills have to be developed and the ongoing training have to be provided to them. Now let us look at the integrated library management software. A library automation system, also known as library management system, integrated library management system, It is a software that has been developed and used for computerization of in-house functions of a library. So there are a lot of options available. There are single applications, which means that these applications allow you to automate one or two functions of the library. For example, you may just like people to have an OPAC, just the OPAC functionality. You can do that. You may like to use it only for circulation purpose. You can do that. Or you might like an integrated application where all the operations of the library, including acquisition, cataloging, circulation, OPAC, and other modules, are integrated into one. So integrated applications refers to sharing of a common database for documents and patterns to perform all the basic functions of a library. The application packages uses a single bibliographic database and a set of interrelated application programs to support multiple library operations. Library software packages are available for single user in a workstation mode, for example Windows or its various versions, as well as in simultaneous multi-user environment on Windows or Linux operating systems. Few important library automation software packages that are available in the marketplace include APCD, eGranthalaya, Evergreen, Koha, Liberty, Libman, Library Suite, Libsoft, Libsys, Libtech, NewGenLib, Sim++, Soul, and Virtua. These are some of the examples. Some of them are open access, some of them are free, and many of them are commercial packages that can be obtained from the marketplaces. Now let us look at the criteria that one should use for selecting a library management package. These criteria may vary from libraries to library based on their requirements. The library automation software packages should be selected in such a way that it should satisfy the present and prospective needs of a library. The library or the librarian should evaluate different software packages available in the marketplace so as to compare their features and facilities and how well they suit them to their particular requirement. Let us look at the criteria that should be considered. Operating system is one of the important criteria. The software should be available for an operating system that are known to be robust and mostly used worldwide. For example, Windows, Linux, or CentOS. You may also look whether your library staff is acquainted with operating systems or not. That is also why Linux is supposed to be a very robust system. Your library staff may not be acquainted to use it. So you need to acquaint them with the software or buy a software which the library staff knows very well. The library automation package should cover all basic functions. Software should have modules for all basic functions such as cataloging, acquisition, OPAC, circulation, serial control, as well as optional modules like stock verification, barcoding, web OPAC, RFID, QR code, etc. So these are some of the options that you would like to ascertain that the package they are buying has them. It should have additional features such as software may offer optional module like bulletin board, article indexing, reference databases, electronic imaging, full text retrieval, hyperlinking, email capabilities so that you can send reminders to your patrons as well as to your vendors, and reporting services. So these are the additional features that must be supported in a software. The programming language. The software should be written or developed using a contemporary programming language. You may not like to use a software that is written in COBOL or one of those traditional languages which no more are in practice or no more used. The software should adhere to standard formats and protocol. It is very important, especially in library environment. It should support standards like MARC 21 for storing bibliographic database. It should be complied with Z39.50 protocol for information storage and retrieval so that you can be part of a larger library network which follow these systems, and that enables others to search your catalog as well as you to search others' catalog. Using Unicode for representation of characters, especially in multilingual environment, it is important that the coding use or the code set that are used is Unicode so that you can handle multiple languages in it. Scripts handling. Software should have capabilities to handle multiple scripts, as well as library has collections, since library has collections in different languages. For example, ASCII and Unicode. ASCII is something that can handle mostly Roman languages, but Unicode can handle most of the Indian languages, including Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and other regional languages. So it is important that you should be, the script handling is taken care of. Database and functional security. The software should have extensive security features for handling databases and data theft at each module, submodule, and activity level. Knowledge base. The package should be accompanied with detailed documentation, including user's guide, system manuals, and it should have online help facility for users and as well as for the system administrators. Multimedia object. The package should have ability to handle multimedia objects, including text, audio, video, graphics, and animation. These are now very important components that come sometimes with your book on CDs, or sometimes you obtain your material in an online mode where multimedia objects are inbuilt into the material that you are buying. Some more criteria for selection of library management software include customer support and training. It is very important that the facilities like sound backup support, on-time and on-demand customer services, regular training and support from the vendor is available. Interoperability and compatibility. The library automation package should be compatible with newer and future technology. Existing installation. It is very important that the user space of the library integrated management system that you buy is large. Greater the number of installation, greater is the possibility of forming user groups amongst the user. So it is important that the user base is large. Now we have looked at the criteria, and these criteria one should adopt depending on what is your requirement. Now let us look at yet another very important activity. It is creation of databases of records. So there are three kinds of databases that are required for an integrated library management system. This is book database, journal database, and users database. So database of library books. Building database of library books is an important activities in the process of library automation. This activity involves identification of document type available in the library. It could be books, conference proceedings, thesis and dissertation, reports, electronic books, standards, patents, and electronic journals, and associated data elements. All these kind of book formats or record formats will have different data elements. So all data elements have to be taken care of. The records for recent books acquired are to be generated during the process of book acquisition. Database of library journals. The first database was library books. The next is library journals. This includes the current journals as well as journals that are available in the library in back volumes or bound volumes. So a database has to be created for all journals that are available in the library, including current as well as the backlist or back volumes. Database of library users and pattern. This database consists of names of authorized users along with their categories, unique membership number. The pattern database requires regular updation as new users register and the existing ones leaves, especially in a environment which is university or colleges. The new batches of students comes every year and they have to be registered, and every year the batches who graduate or who complete their degree leaves. So those the records have to be fleshed out for users who leave, and new records have to be created for users who enroll themselves in a university or colleges. Now let us look at retro conversion of bibliographic records. When you automate your library, the new books that you acquire come through acquisition. So their records are created in acquisitions. They are transited to the cataloging, where it is again matured, additional information is added, and you have a bibliographic record. But what do you do with the books that are already available in the library? So converting the records of books that are already available is called retro conversion of bibliographic records. There are 4 methods that you can follow for that. One is the direct keying in of records. Library may choose to directly key in bibliographic details for documents available in the library. You can use data input sheets for that. That means data input sheets are prepared first, and then it is authenticated by somebody, and then you enter them into the records. That is direct keying in of records. The other alternative is that buying records from external sources. Libraries may also buy bibliograph records for their books in a standard format from external sources like OCLC, or there may be other regional catalog record suppliers. You can download records from other sources. The library can also download records from sources like Library of Congress online catalog, InflibNet Union book catalog, and there may be some more resources that are available for downloading directly. So most Union catalogs, including InflibNet's Union catalog and Library of Congress, allows you to download records directly from their databases and download into your records, as long as your package is compatible with Mark 21 standard format, because that is a prerequisite. Network infrastructure. Now these are planning for library automation. Local area network is required to facilitate interaction between servers and client. As such, setting up a LAN is a prerequisite for effective library automation. The library may have its independent LAN, or it could be a part of the larger institutional LAN. Setting up a LAN requires communication equipments like communication switches, routers, hubs, modems, and other items. These hardware and software items are required for setting up any network and are not specific to library automation. So it means that you do not have to set up a separate local area network just for library automation. It may already exist, and you can use that particular LAN that already exists. Manpower and training. This is very important component of planning library automation. You need to train and skill manpower, which is already available. Training and skilling manpower is a very crucial operation for a successful library automation. So users training have to be conducted, staff training have to be conducted. You have to train your system administrator to handle server, and in-house development of expertise. That means that people who are already in-house, they may also be trained on the acquired library automation system. Now let us look at the standards and protocol that should be adhered to for a library automation package. AACR2 is something that we use day in and day out for cataloging our library books. The AACR provides descriptive cataloging of all type of materials likely to be found in general library collection. It provides rules and guide for cataloging, constructing descriptions to identify and represent bibliographic work in catalog, and constructing uniform heading for persons, corporate bodies, geographical places, and titles to be used at access point in catalog. However, AACR do not cover subject cataloging. Subject cataloging is handled separately by subject headings or by thesaurus. Machine readable catalog. MARC is a standard for recording bibliographic data at a logical level. It contains elements for content, physical, and process description. MARC is not a single standard, but it is a framework. The MARC 21 is de facto standard, as it is being adopted as common bibliographic format by various national libraries. MARC 21 is a technical standard for encoding bibliographic information. Z39.50 or OAI PMH. Z3950 is an ANSI NISO standard for information storage and retrieval. It is used for searching and retrieving bibliographic record across more than one library system. That means that if you use Z3950, you can be a part of larger network or libraries whose records can be searched using Z39.50 protocol. FRBR, Functional Requirements for Bibliographic Records. FRBR was developed by the IFLA study group between 92 and 97. It includes a conceptual model for entities and relationships and attributes, identifies specific user tasks that bibliographic records are intended to fulfill, find, identify, select, obtain, and recommends a set of elements for inclusion in national bibliographic records. Yet another important standard is Dublin Core. The Dublin Core refers to a set of metadata elements that may be assigned to web pages to facilitate discovery of electronic resources. A set of 15 core elements in Dublin Core includes title, creator, subject, keywords, description, publisher, contributor, date, resource type, format, resource identifier, source, language, relation coverage, right management, audience, and right holders. This is a standard on ISO standard on interlibrary loan protocol that can also be inbuilt into the library management system. These standards provide uniform procedures when accessing a library across a network to order, copy, or loan material and for carrying out the administrative tasks involved in loan management. The ILL protocol is described and defined in two standard form documents, that is ISO 10160 Interlibrary Loan Application Service Definition and ISO 10161 Interlibrary Loan Application Protocol Specification. The standard defines a number of services available to the requesting side and the supplying side. So both sides are covered in this application. OpenURL is yet another standard format where this is a standardized way to pass information in the URL between different resources. The metadata in the URL describes the resources that is being requested by the user. Some common elements that are passed are ISSN number, ISBN number, title, volume, issue, author, date, etc. So what they do is that instead of using a unique URL, they pass on the sequence of data one after another in a specific order so that books or its source can be identified and the unique item can be identified using OpenURL. Search Retrieve Web Services SRW and Search Retrieve URL Service SRU. SRW and SRU are intended to define a standard form for internet search queries as well as the structure of the responses. SRW or SRU was developed mainly with the aim to simplify some of the complexities involved with Z39.50 protocols, while keeping the usual part of the protocol such as SQL3 query syntax. So it is basically a evolvement on Z39.50 with simplifying procedures and operations. SRU and SRW services are easy to implement compared to Z39.50, mainly because these two protocols are web-based protocols. Another important benefit is that the SRW and SRU can be combined with other web-driven applications such as OpenURL. Typically, SRU and SRW queries are encoded in URLs. The search results are XML and their records are encoded using Dublin Core format. Now let us look at automation of in-house operation, various operations that we do in the libraries, including cataloging, online public access catalog, circulation control, acquisition, serial control, and other modules. So if you look at the cataloging is a core application module that facilitates creation, updation, and management of bibliographic database of a library. It defines the record format used in the database and provides for authority control for authors as well as for subject headings. Most integrated library software support Mark 21 records as well as partial Mark 21 records. Major activities and services supported by cataloging module of ILS include creation of predefined worksheet and input of catalog records, provision for fetching records from acquisition module for titles that are in process, provision for appending textual and non-textual digital objects, provision for incorporating link to internet resources including HTTP or FTTP links. This basically means that if you are subscribing to an online resource, e-journal or ebooks, the link can be given in the catalog records beside other details, for example, author, title, and every other detail, including a link to the resource. Maintenance of name and subject authority file including construction of thesaurus, provision for generating subject bibliographies and list of references, provision for editing, correction, and removal of bibliographic records as and when required. Cataloging includes arrangement of bibliographic records in a predefined file sequence, printing of catalog cards, barcode, spines and labels, update holding in terms of number of books, their collection codes, swapping among collections. That means you can shift a book from one collection to another. Generation of current awareness services, recent arrivals, SDI services, listing of catalog records by specific criteria such as by subject, title, author, generation of indexes such as author, title, series, subject headings, words in titles and series, etc. Now let us look at yet another module, online public access catalog, OPAC. OPAC is generally the condition or generally the aim for a library to automate. The first thing a library would like to do is to put their OPAC onto the web and make it available to the public. So this is generally the first aim for automation. An OPAC is usually offered as an add-on module that is integral with the cataloging module, because OPAC is nothing but the display of records that are available in catalog modules and its searching options. Installing an integrated library system and implementation of an online catalog is a substitute for a card or book form of catalog. Once you have an OPAC, you really do not need a card catalog or book form catalog. Cataloging activities using an ILMS produces an electronic catalog. Most OPAC modules are menu driven that are essential for institutions. OPAC modules permit search by author, title and subject. Brief instructions explaining search procedures and indicating the proper syntax for such statements are available online. More detailed information is presented in help screens that may be evoked by functions key. Now let us look at the circulation control module, which is very important module. In fact, that is the interface between staff and the library. The circulation control modules of an integrated library management system is concerned with automation of a variety of tasks including checking out, checking in, renewal of library material, reservations, fine calculations, fine collection, record keeping, creation, maintenance and retrieval of borrower's record, and printing of reports and notices. All circulation control modules perform check-in, check-out and renewal operation in real time. Most circulation packages support automatic identification, such technology that is barcodes, smart cards and RFID that are used in the process of circulation. Circulation module can accommodate a broad range of transactions including membership record keeping, maintenance of a database of authorized users and defining their entitlements as per their categories, for example faculty, student, PhD student, PG student, UG student and staff, and their entitlement in terms of number of books that they can borrow, and then and the time they can retain those books. Provision for checking out and checking in library documents as per authorization of a given user, and handling reservations. Circulation control also look after overdue follow-ups and recall, renewal of loan items, stock verification, interlibrary loan, and transaction of books borrowed through interlibrary loan. They also look after the functions of calculation of fine, analysis of circulation transactions, handling of special category of borrowers with a special type of material, notifications to delinquent borrowers, users with overdue books, unpaid fines, etc. Printing of due date slips, no dues, routing slips, queries handling both on borrowers as well as on collection, report generation in terms of overdue and recall notices, reserve titles, checkouts of borrowers, stock verification list, delinquency records, loan statistics by category of user, etc. Now let us look at the acquisition module. The primary objectives of automated acquisition module is to manage and control library budget effectively, speeding the process of library acquisition by automating processes of ordering, receipt, and payment of documents in a library. Acquisition model can accommodate a broad range of procurement transactions, including book selection, pre-ordering searching, printing of approval list and subsequent follow-ups, approved, not approved, duplicate, print or email purchase orders for books, query letters to vendors, printing of email reminders and cancellation, handle standing orders, blanket orders, prepaid order, gifts and exchanges, and membership, receipt and accessioning of documents, invoice processing, payment requisition to accounts for releasing of payment, reminders and follow-ups for non-receipted documents, handling budgets, distributing of budget amongst departments and centers, and generating budget status report. Acquisitions also deals with printing accession list, notification to users for arrival of books, out of stock books, out of print books, vendor performance reports, reports on outstanding orders, orders under process, books under process, handling queries on acquisitions such as title in process, pending and overdue books. Now let us look at serials control module. Serial control module are designed to manage magazines, journals, newspapers, monographic serials, and other materials that library receive on a continuing basis, whether at a regular interval or at a irregular supplements or special publication. Automation of serial control system helps to handle serials more easily, quickly, and more effectively. A serial control module can accommodate a broad range of routines required for automating serial acquisition and management. This include input of serial data, ordering of new journals and renewal or cancellation of existing journals, handling approvals, approved and rejected journals, receipt of individual issues of journal, claim monitoring including sending reminders for missing issues of journals, routing and circulation of individual issues of journals, holding information in terms of completed volumes, volumes with missing issues or missing volumes, list of periodicals received in a month or in a fortnight or in a week, list of periodicals that are renewed or that are added, list of periodicals that are cancelled. The serial modules also keeps track of amount spent on subscription and binding of volumes, queries pertaining to new serials, renewal of serials, receipts, queries on vendors, their performance, recent arrivals, report generation for missing issues, for complete volumes, binding orders, accession register for bound volumes, budget and expenditure analysis. Now let us look at other add-on modules. This is what we have talked about, the traditional, you talked about acquisition, circulation, serial control, and OPAC, which are standard modules in a library. But there could also be add-on modules like reporting modules. It offers a customized output capabilities that supplement the perforated management and statistical report produced by catalog, circulation control, acquisition, and article indexing module. WebOPEC module. Now, of course, the WebOPEC is by default is a part of any module. It facilitates WAC functionality for OPEC. Interlibrary loan module, which is indeed a add-on module that facilitates interlibrary loan management for requesting borrowing of material from other libraries and track its log, as well as for lending books to the other libraries. Media book modules. The media book modules provide circulation control for videotapes, films, and other video material, as well as equipment and facilities that are subject to advance reservation. These modules are provided separately or integrated with other basic modules available with integrated library management packages. Now, let us look at automatic identification technologies. Automatic identification technology helps in effective automation of circulation as well as several other processes like security, stock verification, etc. Basically, what they do is they use technologies like barcode technology, smart card technology, or RFID to identify books and pattern both in an automatic fashion. So instead of entering the accession number of an author, accession number of a book, or borrower's number of a pattern, it is possible to scan barcode and do that operation automatically. So looking at the barcode technology offers a mechanism that can be used for identification, location, and tracking of items that are barcoded. Barcodes are nothing but encoding of data in black and white strips. It requires barcode readers and scanners to read the information that are available in the barcodes. Yet another automatic identification technology is radio frequency identification, or RFID. RFID is a term used for radio enabled devices that communicates with or integrates a tag or a smart label which is embedded in a book with a single microchip processor as well as an antenna. The two components of RFID tags are tags and readers. The tags or labels are equipped with single microchip processor, an antenna, and an ID code that are embedded in almost any object. RFID readers are radio-enabled devices that communicate with or integrate RFID tags or labels wirelessly and obtain the ID code on the tags from distance of several inches. The RFID readers can be fixed or made portable just like barcode scanners. Next generation library management system. As you know, libraries are changing and you need next generation library system where you are buying resources in electronic format more or more that are not available in the library but that are available somewhere on the web space. So next generation library system, often referred to as next generation library platforms, are expected to offer advanced features and functionality catering to the requirement of a hybrid physical and a digital library that exists today, that embeds Web 2.0 or Library 2.0 functionality such as tagging, pattern-driven acquisition, ability on part of the user to save search results, create lists, and add comments and reviews to the existing catalog. So these are some new features that are now available in the next generation library management system. Some of the important next generation features and functionality that the next generation library management software should support include cloud-based application, comprehensive library resource management, service-oriented architecture, ability to meet the challenges of new library workflow, and next generation discovery services. Discovery services that are now available as a separate package should build into the library catalog. So that is what next generation library management system addresses to. Cloud-based application. This is important component of next generation library management system. Cloud-based implementation of data server instead of conventional hosting of servers locally. Integrated library software can be offered as software as a service or further platform as a service on a platform hosted by a vendor which is shared by several other users for hosting their library software. Comprehensive library resource management. The next generation LIS should also integrate functionalities of electronic resource management system, ERMS, adopting workflow of library including acquisition of electronic material and their licensing. Server-oriented architecture. The SOA or server-oriented architecture model would facilitate interoperability of components of library system with other systems, facilitating easier integration with admin systems such as student registry, faculty directory, and finance. Use of service-oriented architecture would lead to platform independency, allowing its user to pick up the software and hardware of their choice without getting locked to a single vendor. Ability to meet the challenges of new library workflow. Next generation library system should be different from the existing library system. It requires completely new workflow, facilitating customization and flexibility. It should be able to unify the acquisition of electronic information resources such as e-books, e-journals, as well as traditional print material in the same system. Next generation discovery services. The discovery services are now available as a separate application. One of the most important features of the next generation library system is discovery service that will offer the possibility of unified search to local print holding, specialized and commercial databases subscribed by the library, local repositories, institution repository, and open access resources with built-in social networking capabilities. It should offer a single search box for all types of resources with features for advanced relevance ranking, faceted search, social tagging of record, etc. In summary, library automation is the application of computers with the help of specific software packages and also connected to tools for the process of data in library. The basic aim of library automation is to reduce the human efforts and time in terms of repetitive tasks that are performed in the libraries. Library automation helps the library to execute and facilitate better services to the users to better connect them with the library resources. It needs proper planning and implementation. Further, it requires periodical evaluation for its smooth run in the library. Selection of an effective and suitable ILMS package is very crucial and very important for success of the library automation process. Library staff training, library user education are very necessary component of a successful library automation. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed this talk on library automation and it will be useful for you to implement library automation in your respective libraries. Thank you.